Why here? In this quiet place, so far removed? How did 11 soldiers end up being murdered here? Why here? In Oklahoma, in the Cookson Hills, the 333rd Field Artillery Regiment was activated at Camp Gruber. After training, the segregated regiment, made up of both black and white artillery groups, is shipped to England, and in July, roughly a month after D-Day, they land in Normandy, France. Within hours, they begin fighting German forces. From there, they were sent west to secure the port city of Wereth from the deeply entrenched German forces. After over a month engagement, they began moving east toward the German border. The days leading up to this were relatively peaceful. Training, maintenance, weekend leave passes to Paris. What wasn't known was the scope of the surprise attack by the German forces. This attack would later be known by the name the Battle of the Bulge. Orders came for the 333rd to split their forces. Batteries A and B displaced from Schönberg, crossing over the Aue River, but C and service batteries were ordered to stay and help cover any withdrawals. They held their position for nearly 24 hours. The next day, fog obscured observations. The remaining batteries waited for orders to move out. However, they never got the chance. At 10 a.m., German armor and infantry began pouring into the village. They began capturing soldiers, and in the confusion, 11 soldiers escaped north, through the frozen rain, sticky mud, and dark forests, looking for the American line. Master Sergeant Michael Marine continues their story.
With only 2 rifles among the 11 men, they came upon the small 9-house hamlet of Wereth, Belgium. Cold, weary, hunted soldiers. It was then that a man of extraordinary courage took in the Americans, sheltered them, and fed them. He risked his own life and the safety of his family to help men not from his country nor of his color. This man was Matthias Langer. Then at 1600, a 4-man Nazi SS patrol came to Wereth. When the SS troops approached, the soldiers surrendered quickly and without resistance, so no harm would come to the Langer family. Later, they were marched down to the road to a small ditch, and it was a spot that they never left. The United States Army photographers were horrified to find that the men hadn't been merely executed, but that they had been tortured. And these men, the Wereth 11, and their massacre faded into obscurity in a forgotten file and a forgotten archive. Then in 1994, a man who was a 12-year-old boy in 1944 and never forgot what he witnessed that day, erected this monument.
That man was Herman Langer, and he, a Belgian, is responsible for creating what is believed to be the only monument honoring African-American troops in Europe. Later, the monument was also dedicated to the whole 333rd Field Artillery Regiment. Since 1994, service members have been making the pilgrimage to this small hill, away from the famous battle lines. The Wereth 11 came from places like Texas, Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi. They left their families and homes and died for the country. For almost 23 years, people have been coming to this place to honor their memory. However, for 50 years, their story was all but forgotten.
Being a part of the American Armed Forces is more than just about your job or your day-to-day routine. It's about honoring the legacy of those like the Wereth 11. So doing some research, getting out there, finding who these invisible soldiers of these forgotten battles were. And it's our duty to do that for them, and remember them, and advance their legacy.